Interesting. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, my hair is out, my hair is in a bun. It is wash day today and I'm going to be using two products that we've already seen before. So I'm going to be using the Talia Wajid Green Apple and Aloe with Coconut. This is a deep conditioner. And then I'm also going to be using the Born Beautiful Naturals Moisture Silk Sulfate Free Shampoo. I have videos on both of these separately if you want to find out about these. But before I get carried away, in today's video, we are going to be discovering my hair porosity. We're going to be talking about what hair porosity is, why it's important and all of that good stuff. Let's just jump straight into it. So before we jump into the video, there are three types of hair porosity. There's low porosity, medium porosity and high porosity. So basically what hair porosity means, it's your hair's ability to absorb moisture, water. It helps you determine which kind of products are going to be better suited for your hair. I have always wanted to do a hair porosity test. There is a simple test that we're going to do, which is basically you just get a clean strand of hair, you put it into water and then you see whether your hair floats or sinks. If your hair just stays right on the top of the water, that means that you have low porosity. If you have low porosity, that means that because the cuticles on your hair are close together, your hair won't sink because the cuticles are closed, no water's getting into it. If your hair sinks right the way down to the bottom, that means that you have a high porosity, your hair cuticles are wide open, all of the moisture is filling in and so it's going down to the bottom. But if you have like normal mid porosity, then your hair should just kind of like float in the middle of the glass because it's letting in water but it's not letting in like all of the water, if that makes sense. However, I do want to caveat all of that by saying that this water test, this float test as it's called, is not an exact science. There are many variables that go into determining exactly what porosity your hair has. There are certain conditions that your hair needs to be in. There are things like if your hair has product on it, it could make your hair a lot heavier and it could mean that your hair is more likely to sink to the bottom. If you just kind of put your hair on the top of the water and you don't push it down under the water, then that could also lead to your hair just being on the top so it looks like you have low porosity. So there are a few different variables that need to be taken into account, which is why I say this test is not an exact science. I think there is a test that you can do. Someone was talking about it in a video that I was watching. I can't remember the term that they used, like a gastrophy test. I don't know. There is a test that is a proper scientific test I think that you can do that can properly test the porosity of your hair, but we're not doing that today. We're doing a fun test. This channel is all about having fun, discovering new things, and hopefully we will see what porosity my hair is. To be honest, I think I've got like normal to... Honestly, I feel like I've just got normal hair porosity, especially now that I found a technique that works for me in terms of moisturizing my hair. I feel like my hair is normal. Do you know what? I think I have normal to low porosity hair, I think. So that's the kind of banding that I think I'm going to be in. But again, like I said, this isn't an exact science. So we're just going to find out what this variation of test means. And I'm going to show you how we do it. So with that out of the way, I'm now going to go and wash my hair in order to get like a close to as fair test as possible. Your hair should be cleaned and shampooed so there's no like product on your hair that could maybe cause your hair to float to the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're just going to shampoo the hair, then when I come back we're going to actually go ahead and do the test and we're going to see what my hair is. I'm really excited because I've wanted to do this test for so long, and considering how simple this test is, I don't know why it's taken me this long to do the test, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm going to go and wash my hair and then when I come back we're going to jump straight into the test. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Hi guys, oh, why do I always do that? Hi guys, so I'm back. I've just washed my hair. I think in all honesty it's probably been like 30 minutes, probably like an hour. I just went away and you know. But anyway, so my hair is washed. It's clean. I've shampooed my hair, so my hair is properly clean. I had quite a bit of build-up, but the shampoo that I use, the Born Beautiful Naturals Moisture Silk Sulfate Free Shampoo, is really great. It just like cleans your scalp completely. And what I realized is that I would probably need dry hair because obviously if the hair is already full of water, then the chances are that it will just sink straight away, if that makes sense. So I want to let my hair dry for a little bit. Cool beans. Okay, these t-shirts really dry your hair quite fast because my hair was obviously dripping, but it's not dripping anymore. Okay guys, so the hair is out. Before I go ahead and put it into this thing, I'm just gonna, oh well, what do you know, some hair came out. Beautiful. So I have my glass. I decided to just do it in a clear glass that's easy for everyone to see. So from what I'm reading on my blog post, so basically we just have a glass of water here, which I filled kind of to the top, and then I have my hair that's just come up from my head, and we're gonna put this into the water and we're gonna see. I'm really excited to try this, and yeah, let's just try and see what my hair porosity is. So as you can see, the hair is in the glass. Right now it looks like it's floating, like it's literally just like in the middle, and it's funny because I could actually see it like going down in the water, and I was like, oh god, I think I actually have high porosity hair. Not that it's a bad thing to have high porosity hair, because there are ways that you can manage it, but seeing it now, it's like at the top, so it's really, let me see if I push it down. Okay, so when I push it in, right now it looks like it is oh no, it's gone right down to the bottom. So I'm gonna just leave this in the glass for a few minutes while I put in my deep conditioner, and then once I finish, we're gonna come back to look at this to see how it is and just all of that stuff, because I think you should really only leave this for like 3 or so minutes. So that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, so let me just put on my deep conditioner. Shake. I want to know, let me know in the comments, do you know what your hair porosity is? Remember guys, hair porosity is for all people. It's not just for if you have natural hair, if you have like curly hair, and knowing your hair porosity will help you in terms of knowing like what to do for your hair, like what products to use, basically just like what products to use, how your hair best reacts to products, like what is almost like the best course of action for you to take when it comes to looking after your hair. So it's something that I feel like people should really do and should have an idea of, even if it is just for fun, because like I said, doing this float test isn't an exact science. It's not an exact thing, but one, it's fun, two, it's really simple because, you know, everyone's hair falls out anyway, so you don't have to pull out your hair to do it, and three, it's just such a simple way, and I guess it's a lot cheaper than having to do some random test. You know, you can just do it on your own because everyone has a mug, everyone has like some water, I should hope. So such an easy test to do. But it's funny because looking at the glass, let me just go through some of my findings as I do my hair. So what I noticed with the hair is that before I touched it and I just put it in the glass, it was just floating on the top. And I think that's definitely something that people should be aware of if you do this test, is you may need to give the hair a prod. Otherwise it's just going to float on top of the water. So you want to make sure that you push it just below water level. Another thing I noticed was my hair stayed in the middle for a really long time, a couple of minutes I'd say, at least like a minute and a half to 2 minutes. It was just floating in the middle, but because I saw that there was a part of the hair that was just on the top of the water, I wanted to make sure that everything was underwater, so I pushed that bit under the water and then everything went underwater. So I do have my own thoughts on that. I think it's partly because what I put into the water was a bunch of knots, and obviously knots are heavy, they're gonna bring everything down, so that's one reason. And then also just giving it that extra prod, I think it pushed everything down. But I think if I'd have just left the hair on the top of the water, like that one strap on top of the water, I do believe that the hair would have stayed in the middle. That said, obviously moisture is going into the hair cuticle, so you can't expect the hair to stay at the same level forever. So yeah, so anyway, let me know if you've done this hair porosity test. What were your findings? Do you have high porosity, low porosity, mid porosity? Like I said, no porosity is better or worse than the other. It's just a case of knowing how to deal with your hair. So say you have low porosity hair, meaning it's harder for products to get into your hair, you'd probably want to stay away from like oils and things that really lock in moisture, just because your hair struggles to get moisture anyway. So you don't want to be using like thick occlusives on your hair. You'd want to use something that's a bit thinner, that's got a bit more slip, that's easier to get into your hair. So for example, you might want to use a deep conditioner like this. This is super runny. This is not a conditioner I would ever really use just because it's so runny. When I show you how runny it is, like I'm not even squeezing the bottle and it's literally all just like draining out. Okay, I squeezed it towards the end, but you get the point. So a product like this is going to be good because it's really slippery, so it's like easier to get into the hair. Say you have mid porosity hair, you can pretty much use any product you like because the product will get into your hair and it will stay in your hair and it won't really like evaporate so much from your hair. Also, another thing, if you do have low porosity hair, you can get away with using like thinner products because they won't so easily like evaporate from your hair. So mid porosity, you can do things like use any product, really just remember, I guess, to seal it in. If you have high porosity hair, meaning that products very easily get into your hair but they don't stay in your hair, then you want to use more like balmy products, creams, heavier, thicker things with more of a heavier consistency to them, and it just means that it will be harder for those things to leave your hair. I mean, they'll obviously still leave your hair eventually because your hair is really porous and lets things in and out pretty easily, but at least that's the way where you can kind of control it a bit. I'd focus on oils, making sure to seal in any products that are used with oils, because even if you do use something super thick or a cream, there's still chance of it kind of like running away from your hair. So making sure that you lock everything in with like an oil, that's a must. So those are the things that knowing your hair porosity will help you know what products to use, what products are best to use. Not to say that you can't use any product, because say you have high porosity hair and you want to try out this Tilia Wajid deep conditioner, there's no reason why you can't try it. Just know that when you try it, you're gonna need to have like a thicker product. You might need to use more product in order to really feel the like benefits that someone with mid porosity might not need to use as much as, but you can still use the same product. So it's just small things that knowing what your hair porosity is, it will just help you in terms of like, okay, so I want to grow my hair, I need to use these kind of products in this kind of order, you know? Like, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And you know what they say, knowledge is power. The more you know, just like the better you can be equipped with things. I think especially if your 2021 hair goal is to grow your hair, then just a small 3-minute test can tell you everything you need to know. And of course, that's not to say that certain products are going to work. That's not to say that certain liquidy products like this are going to really help if you have low porosity hair. I'm not saying that. It just at least helps give you a starting point. You at least know where to start on your quest. In your quest, on your quest, you just kind of know like a starting point. It gives you a starting point, I should actually say. Knowledge is power, my friend. And like I said, I'm no hair expert. I'm not a hair trichologist, if that's what they're called. I think that's what they're called. I'm not a trichologist. This is just literally things from the internet, and like I said, this isn't an exact science. There are people who are like debunking this whole method of hair porosity, and they're well within their rights to. This is just a fun wash day video, learning together. Also, without even taking the test, I think sometimes you already know your hair. Like, everyone knows themselves. You know your hair, and you probably already have an inkling of your hair's porosity. I think this fun little test just kind of helps to confirm that. Cool. So we're nearly done. Let me just wrap up this last section. Okay guys, so, oh wow, the sun looks like it's about to set. What's the time? We've got an hour before the sun sets. Okay guys, so deep conditioner is in the hair. I think that's definitely been more than 3 minutes because I was yammering on for about like 10 minutes. So deep conditioner is on. Let's look at the glass. To be honest, the hair has kind of... Interesting. I'm very shocked at that. Because I don't know if you guys saw, but the hair went down and then it went back up. So I guess, like I said, this is not an exact science. This isn't going to tell you definitive results, because now I can see that my hair has bounced right back up to the top, which could mean one of two things. I either have low porosity hair, which I know that I don't have low porosity hair, or it's just that the hair is so full of water that it's just buoyed back up to the top. So I am gonna stay with my first prediction of me having mid to low porosity hair. That's what I believe. Even though a moment ago I thought I could have high porosity hair just because I don't really like liquidy products like this, but then I realized it's more of a personal preference of texture. Like, I just prefer thicker, creamier products because they just make me feel more cozy inside. Anyway, I think I might try this again just to, you know, be on the safe side. But yeah guys, so that is today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you have tried this test before. before. I think I've said that 3 times now, but let me know anyway. I had fun learning about my hair in a roundabout way. But yeah, that is everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and in the meantime I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.